How can you secretly spy on someone and make them unaware? The answer is pretend to be blind. Jack, a pianist, always pretended to be blind and would go to people's houses to play the piano. During the time he was pretending to be blind, he experienced some pleasures that most people couldn't understand. For instance, some people liked to walk around their homes without pants, others loved to go without shirts, and there were even some who preferred to be completely naked. To make his act more believable, Jack wore a blindfold at home every day, practicing the mannerisms of a blind person. Little did he know, pretending to be blind would become the biggest regret of his life. One day, Jack was invited to play piano at a wealthy man's house. When the door opened, it was the wife of the wealthy man, but she didn't seem very welcoming. Jack was a bit confused, as he had already been paid, so he insisted on entering. The two began arguing, and this caught the attention of the elderly woman next door, who eventually prompted the wife to let Jack inside. After the wife helped Jack sit down, she called her husband, informing him that the wealthy man would be home later. Jack prepared to wait. Just then, he was stunned by something unexpected. There was a dead body in the corner of the room. Jack froze and stopped playing the piano. The wife, noticing, asked what was wrong, and Jack quickly came up with an excuse, saying he needed to use the bathroom. However, he didn't expect that the killer was hiding in the bathroom. At that moment, Jack was terrified. But after pretending to be blind for so long, he managed to suppress his panic and carefully walked out of the room. When Jack saw the body, everything became clear. The body was that of the wealthy man himself. Jack returned to the living room, continued to pretend to play the piano, while the killer and the wife were busy cleaning up the scene. Fortunately, Jack's acting skills weren't revealed, and he managed to leave safely. However, when he arrived at the police station to report the crime, he almost wet himself because the sheriff was the killer. In a panic, Jack quickly changed his story, saying his cat had been killed, which raised the sheriff's suspicion. The sheriff insisted on driving Jack home while subtly probing to see if Jack was truly blind. To save his life, Jack acted like an award-winning actor and successfully deceived the sheriff. The next day, the wealthy man's body was found by the river, and the wife claimed that he had left home with $10 million, leading everyone to believe it was a robbery gone wrong. To cover up the truth, the sheriff had thrown the wealthy man's watch near a public urinal. As a result, Jack became the unfortunate scapegoat. Fearing for his life, Jack gave false testimony at the police station, thinking everything was over. But little did he know, the real danger was only just beginning.